All right, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube about fast club head speed, but there's not a lot about how to get a heavy strike where you can create force into the ball with your whole body and the whole mass of the club. We don't want a flicky impact, we want a forceful impact which will create stable, more reliable shots. Okay, let's get into this. All right, so how do we get this feeling? So I actually want you to find a wall. So this is a soft wall, so it doesn't matter if you push against it, but be careful when you're doing this at home. I want you to do this again horizontally and create the maximum force in the two pressure points of the grip, which is these 2 points. And I want you to see if you can bend your club against the wall using your whole body. Now when you do that, you'll find that your body will naturally open up to create more force. Just like if you was pulling a rope, you'd also open up. Now if you do the opposite way, just to get a reference of how weak this feels, when I let the club head go past the hands, all I'm doing now is using the wrist and my right arm. I don't feel any pressure through my whole core and my whole body. Okay, now once you can do this horizontal to the ground, you want to try and get the feeling of getting closer and closer to the ball, because it's going to feel different because you're going to have tilts in your hips. So now we're going to do it lower down, still going to press into the wall. Doing this training will also affect your grip, because if you've got a really poor grip, say a weak left hand, it won't feel good to create pressure into the wall like this. So you'll naturally start to feel what's a good grip in order to create the force in that direction. All right, so the next step in building this impact is going to be starting horizontally like baseball and seeing if you can let the momentum fall behind your turn and then get the club shaft flat to the wall so you can still create that pressure. So you start here, you let it fall, bang. Now when you do this, if you've got a poor grip or poor wrist conditions, you're going to have an open face and you're going to see that very obviously. So most people who've played baseball, there's no club face like there is on a club, which is actually away from the axis of the club, which means we've got to control this, which makes golf way harder. So if you were playing baseball, you could actually have a crazy open face and it wouldn't matter. So what we need to do is we need to have this kind of a baseball feel, but with the club face straight. So you might have to go a lot stronger with your grip than you can imagine. So now it's straight. Now if I go back, now that grip is much stronger probably than most people are doing. So if I did a weaker grip and I do my baseball swing with the force into the wall, bang, I'm 20 degrees open and this ball is off the planet right. And then I'm never going to want to do that and then I'm going to scoop. So your face is going to control your impact a lot. So you've really got to match up this idea with the club face. All right, so the next step is getting it closer to golf. So we're going to connect it all together. We're going to use an impact bag. So this impact bag probably weighs 1 kilogram. The ball weighs 45 grams. So your brain, anticipating the impact of this, is not going to want to allow you to scoop. And because we're not hitting the ball, it takes away the face problem if you do have that. Because I just want to see if you can get a correct impact, and then you'll see the face whether it's open or not. So what I want you to do is, same thing, we're going to go horizontally, so the club feels light, and then we're going to get a very strong impact from here. Impact from here. Now, if you did it with the wrist, you'd feel there's no energy into the bag. And you'll actually feel like you're going to injure yourself doing that because you're not prepared for the impact. So we've done the impact bag. Now we're just going to do some practice swings, but visualizing that the impact bag is still here. So I want you to get the club vertical, and then you're going to imagine the impact bag. Bang. Once you get the feeling for this, just go ahead straight away and hit the ball. You've got to flip-flop between impact bag, practice swings, and hitting the ball, because the ball's so light that the feedback that you get from the ball will not be very obvious that you're scooping. A lot of people who are strong and using light clubs will never get this feeling of swinging the weight around them because they are busy pushing the club out. Now, if you were playing baseball, you'd never do that because it's heavier and you're also swinging it on a horizontal line. So use that idea with the club and really feel like the energy is pulling it away from you and you're going to spin around with it. Do that a few times, then come straight to the ball and then get that same feeling of spinning around. Okay, so just be careful when you're chasing speed that you're not using flicky speed and you're going to use your whole body mass into the ball. Okay, good luck. Hope that helps.